Hey there, puzzlers! My name is FLEB, and today we're going to continue where we left off before in solving the 3x3x3 Fisher's cube. If you recall, we left off with one of the edges being out of alignment on the top layer, which isn't something that can normally happen. Now, these are our center pieces here, so these are edges as well. And what I was guessing last time was that one of these was flipped around. But I wasn't sure which one to do or which one to try. Well, after thinking about it for a little bit, I don't think it matters which one you pick to flip around, as long as you don't disturb the other edges. Given that you can only change an even number of edges at a time, if you change an odd number of edges in the first two layers, an odd number must change in the top. And what that means is, let's say we flip this around, one or three edges will flip their orientations in the top. That will fix the problem we have right now with an odd number of edges at the top, and replace it with an even number of edges at the top, which standard Rubik's Cube algorithms can fix. So let's take this piece here, let's label it, and then let's flip it around. I'm just taking a small Sharpie here, and I'm labeling the cube A and B. And now I want B to be on this side, and A to be on this side. So first I'm going to take it out of alignment. So now it's in the top layer. It's right here. And now I'm going to put it back in. These are just standard Rubik's Cube algorithms. And you can see now it's aligned. The A is facing the A, the B is facing the B. And on the top, our edge is fixed. We actually have two corners that are out of orientation, but all the edges are in orientation. So we got lucky. That's awesome. So now we can use standard Rubik's Cube algorithms to fix these corners. They can treat them just like corners in the regular Rubik's Cube. Doing one corner algorithm, and then one more. And one more. And this should fix the orientation on the top. Yes! Here we go. So now that we have all the orientation in, I think we can just do the same position algorithms that we had in the Rubik's Cube as well. Here we have two corners that we need to swap. We'll just use the corner swapping algorithm that's typically used in the Rubik's Cube beginner solution. And now all of our corners are in place. There's nothing different about this last layer than the Rubik's Cube so far. And the last thing we need to do is move these edges around. That's also something that's a standard Rubik's Cube algorithm, so I'm just going to use one. Alright, and okay, so we moved the edges around clockwise, and when we did that, it flipped around the center. So what that means is that the standard Rubik's Cube algorithm for permuting a cycle of three edges actually flips the orientation of the center 180 degrees. So how can we fix that? Well, if one of these cycles permutes it 180 degrees, that's a cycle where this piece goes here, this piece goes here, and this piece goes here. Let's see, if we do that 3 times, this will flip 3 times and be back in its regular orientation. Meanwhile, the 3 edges will, they only got 3 spots to move. 1, 2, 3 would bring it back to where it is. So I think we can fix this just by using that edge algorithm 3 times. Let's try that and see if it works. So here's number 1. So you can see the edge that was here is now there, and this is back into place. Let's do it again. See, the edge that used to be here is now here, and so if we do this one more time, this edge should go back to where it was. All the edges here should be fixed, and this should flip around once more. And if we're lucky, that would be the whole cube. So let's give it a shot. How about that? And there we have it. The 3x3x3 Fisher cube. All solved. As a summary, there's sort of three things that we learned along the way of solving this. The first was how to map this to a Rubik's Cube through its movement so that we could use a lot of the work we already put in to make algorithms for the Rubik's Cube. The second was the technique to fix the top layer when one of the edges was out of alignment that we did by flipping around that piece. And the third was fixing that centerpiece by applying the edge algorithm multiple times. So there are a couple of interesting things here, and I feel like I have a better understanding of how these Fisher cubes work. Rather than continue with the 4x4x4 next, I'm going to continue with the 2x2x4. I think that this puzzle is very different from something like a Fisher cube, and it's going to force me to learn a lot more about how these cuboid objects work. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and as always, happy puzzling!